Hey everyone, this is Pig for Life, and in today's Transformers video review we'll be taking a look at Hasbro's Transformers Generations Voyager class Silverbolt from their Wave 1 of their new Combiner Wars line. So let's go ahead and get started with packaging review as always. And so the new Voyager class boxes are, simple boxes, nothing really weird going on. They do have the black and red deco, which is kind of the new color scheme that they're going for with the Combiner Wars line. You get a nice, really big window to see the character packaged in robot mode, and you can see we have Silverbolt here with his gun, and then actually in the back you can see his artwork card, which we saw with some of the other characters as well. I know I already did the Legends class from Wave 1, and I'm going to do the Deluxe class eventually. So bear with me and I'll get through all of those. But in addition to the new box, we get some new character artwork. We do get to see the Combiner Wars logo. We see the character name along with their faction symbol, in this case the Autobot symbol that carries around to the side. Hasbro seems to love doing that with the Autobot logos and Decepticon logos. On the side here, we do get a picture of the combined form. So if the character does form part of a Gestalt, they do show the combined form. So this is obviously Superion, which Silverbolt is the leader of the Aerialbots and forms the core bot. But on the bottom, we also see here that it says 3 of 5 for Superion. Alright? And on the back is what we usually see. We get some character bio. We have some promo shots of robot and alt mode. On the right side, though, is what we saw with the other figures that we've reviewed to date. My apologies. Is the combined form of Superion, and it's very weird. I think I may have mentioned it already, but for Wave 1 of the Deluxes, we actually got Dragstrip, who is a member of Menasors and the Stunticon team, and instead of all of the limbs for Superion. And the reason for that was they said it was just a production issue, just the timing. They ended up having Dragstrip ready while Air Raid was not ready, and so they just threw him in Wave 1. And it wasn't any sort of plan, but he does still work since they're all using the same combiner ports and they are Scramble City. You can use them as an arm or a leg, so it's kind of cool that it ended up doing that. I actually kind of like that idea. So anyway, so right now they're showing Superion as made up of Dragstrip, Skydive, Silverbolt, Alpha Bravo, and Firefly. And then once Air Raid comes out in Wave 2, you'll be able to make a fully Autobot, Aerialbot Superion. Okay? The rest of the boxes for the Voyager class are pretty plain. We just have an Autobot logo here, and on the top an Autobot logo, and on the bottom we just have some I guess alternate language. Oh, just where it was made and distributed and so forth. So nothing too exciting. Alright, so let's go ahead and get Silverbolt open and go on to robot mode review. So out of packaging, this is what you get with Silverbolt. You get his, I guess, art card, which is cool that they're doing. I really do like the fact that they're including these art cards, and the artwork is really nice at Silverbolt. It doesn't look exactly like the Silverbolt you're seeing here. I actually like this one a lot better, but it's still a very cool card. Alright, let's get that out of the way. The instructions are pretty good. I don't like how they fold the instructions like this in kind of like the weird accordion way. The Voyager ones are not that bad because they just do alternating folds, but the Deluxes, once I show them to you, once I review them, you'll see that they fold in all sorts of weird ways, and you kind of need instructions on how to fold them back up. But overall, the instructions are quite good on how to transform him into robot in alt mode and his combined war mode as well. So actually a pretty good job. Since they're trying to make these a lot simpler, it's nice that they can still explain how to do those in these instructions. Alright, and then we get Silverbolt's weapons, which we'll go through in a little bit. And we get Silverbolt. So first thing I want to do before anything else is he does come mistransformed, or at least mine did. His heels were folded in. So one of the things you need to do is just go ahead and fold these out. And then you can actually get Silverbolt to stand. Alright. As far as the other packaging, they've been doing that same cool thing. Let me get this tray out the way. And they've been doing kind of like schematics, blueprints of different characters in the background here. So you see a lot of the Aerialbots, you see some of the hands for the combined modes and stuff like that. Some people have been examining these pretty closely and they seem to reveal upcoming characters, which is pretty cool. Alright, so let's get that out of the way. And let's actually start on robot mode review. I'm going to get rid of his gun real quick. So let's bring this down and zoom in a bit. So Silverbolt actually looks quite good. So let's go ahead and do a quick 360. So I'm still getting over a cold and sinus infection that took me out for the most part of February. So I apologize if you're constantly hearing me clear my throat or coughing. So he looks really good. I think the look that he has from all sides is pretty clean. Obviously he's gonna look like he has a backpack and he's gonna mostly be a robot with a plane on his back, or in alt mode a plane with a robot underneath. But honestly that's kind of how the characters were depicted in the show, so I'm okay with that. The other thing that you probably want to do out of packaging is officially his combined mode, I believe, his robot mode is supposed to have the wings folded back. I kind of like them out, but it's really up to you. So let's go ahead and do that officially. I think officially also makes his backpack look a lot bigger than it really is. Alright, so let's go through his head sculpt first. And I've never really liked the design of Silverbolt's head. I always thought, I mean, it was just really blocky and kind of goofy looking. And in that sense, this figure does a very good job of capturing that. He does have nicely blue painted eyes. He's on a nice ball joint. He does get full rotation all the way around. I mean, his head's just so boring. It just looks like a square and then, I don't know. And he has that goofy looking smile and chin. But overall, I think they do a pretty good job of capturing what he looks like in the original series. I mean, in this stylized artwork that I said I like better, I think his head sculpt looks better just because they have more details on like the crest and everything like that. But that's beside the point. Let's go ahead and zoom out and go into some articulation. So we already talked about the ball jointed head. He does have ratcheted shoulders, and you see how loud they are. Ratcheted this way as well. So these go all the way around, and you're going to need that for transformation purposes. He does have a bicep swivel. He does have friction joints for elbows. He doesn't get quite 90 degrees, but pretty good. He doesn't have really any fist or hand articulation. It's all one molded piece, and because of the way it transforms, it's on kind of a weird hinge. But so no wrist articulation either, unfortunately. Coming down to the waist, he doesn't have any waist articulation. That's kind of disappointing, but given that it's a combiner, I can kind of give them a pass with that. He does have ratcheted hips going out, ratcheted hips going forward. He would be able to go back if it weren't for the backpack he has. I mean, if you spread his leg out, you can get it to go back, but I don't know how often you're ever going to need to move legs back. His knees kind of look a little bit funny if you look at it from the side. They're just friction, but they do get a really nice bend. Again, it's only really restricted by the backpack. Alright, coming down to the feet, he does have some ankle tilt going forward and back, and this is mostly for transformation. He does, again, have that heel that we looked at before. But yeah, that's mostly it for his robot mode articulation. His weapon is this big gun that actually separates into two pieces if you want. I guess you can make this one kind of a shield. Not sure if, yeah, so I mean you can make this one kind of like a shield and use this one as a gun. It's really long though. I mean, it's more suited for Superion in combined mode than it is for just Silverbolt in robot mode. So I like separating it just because having it one big piece just makes it really long, even longer than just having the front long barrel. But yeah, you can combine it back like so. And you can have him, again, holding it from the very back. It does get some interference because of this pin area here, so this makes it even longer. So, like I said, I prefer to have it separate, but it's really up to you. Alright, let's get this out of the way. Alright, let's go straight into robot. So what we're going to do is go robot to alt mode, and then alt mode to combine mode, and then we'll go backwards. Alright, so let's get Silverbolt transformed into alt mode. So it's pretty simple. The first thing you're going to want to do is actually pull Silverbolt's head forward, and it opens up his chest like so. You want to rotate at this orange panel to get his head back, and close that back up, and just straighten that out. Alright, next thing you'll do is just bring his arms up and rotate at the bicep, and you just kind of want to just get them up. Then you just need them to get out of the way, because you're going to come around back and you're going to pull the legs up. So you're going to open up these panels, and they reveal a cavity where you fold up the heels and rotate the foot back all the way in. Alright? Then what you're going to do is rotate the legs at the upper thigh out so they're split like this, and you're going to want to fold these all the way up and collapse them on themselves. So this tab here that you see is going to go right into that small gap there, and that's how you know you're doing it right. Make sure you have the legs straight. I had mine bent forward when I was posing. So again, that little tab here is going to go into that slot. Alright, and then now that you had the arms out of the way, you're going to want to bring them down and then bend. And you basically bring them down 2 ratchets, and then you bend at the elbow. Sorry about that. And you'll know you're doing this right because this little piece has a recess that fits directly into that. And it doesn't tab in anywhere here into the side of the legs. What keeps everything into place is you're going to fold these wings down, and they have tabs with corresponding slots on the back of the inside of the arm. So you're going to fold that down and tab in like so. So same thing on the other side. That tab is going to go into this slot like so, and that holds kind of everything in place. And then you just fold forward the front of the Concorde jet, and then there is the fin that you just need to straighten out. And with that, you have Silverbolt in alt mode, his Concorde alt mode. There are a couple of things that you can do. So he does have landing gear. He does have molded landing gear here. And on the front, he has a little pull down landing gear like so. And he does sit like that. There's also a cool feature that I didn't really understand until I saw some other reviews, and the nose cone actually can bend down, and it wasn't until somebody explained it to me, I think it was Autobot that explained it, saying that this is how Concordes actually were engineered. So when they kind of flew at a weird angle like this, and so the nose cone came down. So that's actually a pretty cool feature that they included to give it a little bit more realism. One other thing that other people have been doing, which I don't really agree with, is because you see a lot of robot and legs and limbs here, they actually like using the combiner chest. And so these are on hinges that can accordion close like that. And people like that because it makes it a more solid, less gap there. The problem with this is then, if you see here, the landing gear no longer works because you have this big chest bump, so it doesn't work. So officially, it definitely is not supposed to be like that. If you want to put it like that and not make use of the landing gear or put it on a flight stand, then by all means go ahead. That is definitely an option for you. But in terms of official alt mode, we already have them there. So let's go ahead and do a quick 360. Some nice painted details on the back engines here. He does have 2 Autobot logos on his wings. I don't know why they kept this orange here. It would have been much more uniform if they made this one hinge piece white, but I might at some point paint it, but honestly I might not bother with a $20 figure. And then at the bottom, as I said, you basically have a robot on the bottom of the jet. The Concorde's actually pretty slim, so it would really be very difficult to actually get this guy looking really believable in his alt mode. Alright, so that's it for alt mode. I think it's actually a pretty good alt mode. You do see his shoulders coming out. I wish they did something to clean that up a little bit, just so at least from the top you wouldn't see robot. From the bottom I can understand, from the top it's kind of annoying to see even this stuff peek out. So that's a little unfortunate. But I kind of like the extra features that they had with the nose cone. They do have some pretty nice painted detail. The orange is pretty clean overall. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to combine mode. So combine mode is pretty easy. What you're going to do is pull this up to free up the arms. You also want to fold that down, and you kind of basically want to go back into this kind of robot mode. But what you're going to do here is rotate at the shoulder. Rotate at the shoulders. Let me go ahead and zoom out a bit so you guys can see. Oh, wrong way. This up. You want to rotate this up like so, and make the arms go like this. And you're going to actually flip the fists up. Alright, like so. Next up, you're going to you're going to bring this together. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm going out of order. Next thing you want to do is open. Oh, I always have a problem with this. So you need to open this piece, so you actually see the antenna for Superion peeking out here. You need to actually open up this cavity, chest cavity here. I have a really hard time doing it, so I use my spudger tool to get it started. Once you have it open, you pull up the head like so, and you have Superion's head that sits back, and you can see that there's a groove here for this piece to peg in. And then you fold forward the antenna, and I'll talk about the antenna a little bit later. And then you're going to go ahead and flip this piece up so you don't see the Autobot logo there. Then you accordion these 2 chest pieces in as I showed you before, and then you're going to fold these pieces down on the shoulders, and that reveals the combiner port. Alright, and just have the wings folded back. So there we have Superion's combined mode chest. The antennae are really annoying. They're soft rubber, or soft, yeah, I guess plastic, soft plastic. And mine came very crooked out of the packaging. It's because of the way they store in the chest. They do sometimes get deformed. And you can probably straighten them out by applying some heat and just holding it in place. But it seems really cheap. I know why they did it. They did it for safety for their kids, for the kids who are supposed to buy these toys, not us adult collectors. But I mean, I don't really like them. I have already shot a review for Non-F's Non-F Productions replacement antenna, which I think are definitely something you should get for $5. So go ahead and check out the review. I'll link that here of that, and I think you should replace the antenna. It's just really frustrating, and it's not a one-off problem. I know on the forums a lot of people have the same issue with these deformed antenna, and it doesn't even sit straight. So it's supposed to sit straight at the base here, but it doesn't, and that also makes it kind of lean back. Alright, so that's my little bit of complaint about the antenna, but luckily there is already a solution for that. But yeah, this is his combined mode. I'll do a separate video showing off all of Superion once Air Raid from Wave 2 is out. I want to show the official Superion, not the one with drag strip. But yeah, overall he looks really good. I like the combined mode for Silverbolt. I think it has really nice details in the paint and the chest. It really does look like Superion. I love the head sculpt, which I'll do a review on in detail later once we have in combined mode. These combiner ports, I didn't know how they were going to work out. They're basically spring loaded, and you just basically slot these squares in, and it'll hold into place, and when you want to release them you just pull back and pull up. I like the mechanism they're using. It's really simple, very basic, but it really gets the job done. The complaints I do have on this mode really are the antenna and these fists that just kind of hang off the back. It's very disappointing that they couldn't do something better with this. When you actually combine them, you can fold this down like this, so it's a little bit sleeker instead of sticking out like that. But then you also still have fists on the back. So there's no really good solution for that unless you plan on keeping it in combined mode. Then you can just knock out these pins and get rid of the fist, put them somewhere safe for another time. But overall though, I do like the look of combined mode. Alright, so as always, I always like to do transformations both ways. We're going to go ahead and go back into from combined mode to alt mode, and then finally to robot. So we're going to kind of speed through that since I've already shown you this, but you want to first open up the chest, get those back on the side like so, pull this down, untab the head from the back, and then you're going to want to rotate it forward like that, and then you want to bend these. So again, when it stores, it's supposed to store straight like this, but oftentimes they didn't do that, so it got bent. And when you close this up, you still have the antennas peeking out the front. That is another small annoyance. I don't really care that much in that I don't see it that often. I didn't even notice it at first in robot mode. I don't know if you guys did when I was shooting the review, but I didn't really notice it. I only noticed it after transformation, so I don't think that it's that big of a deal. Alright, let's close up these fists, close up these shoulder ports for the combiner ports. Alright, so we're already kind of close to alt mode. What you need to do here is rotate the arms like that, rotate at the shoulders 180 degrees, and then as we did before, rotate the arms at the biceps. Go down 2 ratchets and then bend at the elbow. The elbows are quite tight, so let's be mindful of that. I just need to finagle these kind of in place, like so. And again, we're going to bring these tabs, these wings down, and the tabs get into the slots in the arm. Alright, and then bring the front of the plane forward, flip up the fin, bringing down the landing gear. And we're in alt mode again. And then speedily going back to robot mode, very easy, close up the landing gear, fold down this fin. It can go to either side. I prefer this side, but it doesn't really matter. Go ahead and bend this back on itself, like so. Fold up the wings. And there are actually slots in the wings that they don't peg in, but they sit into place with the front of the Concorde. Bring out the arms, untab the legs from the body of the fuselage of the plane. I'm going to bring this down, rotate them 90 degrees so that they're facing forward. Go ahead and get the feet out. They do have little notches here. Mine's pretty tight, so it's kind of hard to get these out, but once you do that, fold up these white panels, bring out the heels. Same thing on the other side. Fold up that panel. Rotate the arms forward at the bicep. And then last but not least, we're going to do the head sculpt reveal. Go ahead and pull forward on the orange panel to get the chest open. Rotate the panel out. Fold the chest back in. And there we have Silverbolt once again in robot mode. So I really do like the Combiner Wars. I wish I had shot the Deluxes first because the Deluxes are really fun. I really like them. The Voyagers are also just kind of one step up from that. I think they're just a little bit more fun than most of the Deluxes. So I really like Silverbolt. I've always been a Superion fan. I remember having him as a kid. Then again, I had a lot of toys as a kid since I was spoiled rotten. But I do really like it. I love that they're bringing combiners. It's been a long time coming. After all these years of getting third-party combiners, it's really nice to see Hasbro taking it on. And what their take on it is really fun. I would say that it's the fact that it is simple. It's not childlike, I would say. I mean, it does work for children, but I think it just makes it more fun. I mean, I own a lot of combiners, and for the most part, I mess with them a couple times, transform them a couple times, and then really they go into combine mode and just stick on my shelf. But these guys are just really fun desk toys, and I like combining them, doing Scramble City, transforming into the alt modes, and they're just really fun to transform and play with, and they have a lot of good posability. So I think they're doing a phenomenal job with the Combiners Wars line. But yeah, let's go ahead and arm him up really quickly once again. And my final thoughts are that I do recommend this line. I think the Deluxes and the Voyagers are definitely something as a Transformers fan you should buy. I think it's something that we've been waiting a really long time for. The Legends classes, I mean, there are a couple that you should definitely pick up, but they're by and large you can skip them and still have really great Combiner Wars figures. And we really just want the combining feature. So with that said, if you have any questions or comments on Silverbolt, leave them in the comment section below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing, go ahead and click the subscribe button at the top right and keep up to date with all my video reviews. And last but not least, if you like Silverbolt and you're not able to find him in your local stores, go ahead and click on the link to Toy Dojo in the description below, and you can pick it up from their store. They always sponsor my reviews, and that's where I picked up mine. I highly recommend you doing the same, picking that up if you can't find them at your local retailer. Alright, that's all for today, everyone. Have a good one.